Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Bitcoin chart planning update video. For those of you that are new, I'm going to break down the bigger structure first so we can better understand what that looks like, which will then let us better understand what the smaller structure looks like currently on today's time. And before we do get started though, everything I say in this video is just my own opinion and how I'm generally approaching this assets. In particular, I am never going to advise anyone to buy or sell anything, any asset at any time. Again, I am just giving my own personal opinions and where I am personally, zones that I'm personally looking at to buy and sell. But again, that's just my own trade plan, and I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. So let's get started. Ever since the end of 2022, we see first, second, third, fourth, and a fifth wave that could bring us all the way up to conservatively or $125,000. Ideally, anywhere between like 115,000 to 130,000 is my conservative crypto, Bitcoin bull market top. Again, conservative. I do believe this asset could easily surpass like 150,000 sometime in 2025. But that's just my conservative estimate. Just something so we can look at, something that we can just have an eye on currently, and as we work there. So I do like to trade in 5-wave structures within bullish structures. So that's going to include 3-wave corrections, where usually the second wave correction is pretty quick, and then 4th wave corrections, like we're seeing right now, are quite extensive. Although we may have a bottom in, and I'm personally, on my own charts, I am confirming that the 4th wave is in, and we're actually working on the 5th wave. Also, every bullish wave has 5 structures in it as well currently, and I'm going to get into the smaller picture right now. Where I am still trying to find confirmation that the first wave is in. I like to personally look for swings to be more on the extreme side. I don't like to factor in small fluctuations on a possible wave count. I like to look at bigger fluctuations, kind of trying to like mold them all together into a bigger picture, and that's usually where I put in my confirm my wave count. So to break that down a little bit, like this right here, a lot of people, and this is completely valid, a lot of people consider this dip right here to be the first and then second wave. To me, way too soon, way too, small frame time work there. I don't like to personally work with that, in my own personal opinion. And of course, everything anyone does in the markets, it's not completely right and it's not completely wrong. It's just my own personal opinion. We are still in the first wave of an overall, how do you call it, a bullish wave count. And again, this is the first wave of the overall 5th wave. Now, for me, ideally, I would like to see prices continue to trend higher, make new all-time highs, and top out somewhere between $74,000 and $76,000. So we can see like probably like $75,000. I would like to see prices trend up there, and then that's when I may be looking at confirming the first wave of this bullish structure. Of course, if we do see prices fall and reach, so as prices continue to move higher, I will move this higher, but this is the current top on the swing high right here. Any move that falls into this area and very quickly, or just consolidates for like a day or two around a 0.5 retracement, I may be looking to potentially call a second wave confirmation a lot sooner than I would like. But so ideally, I would like to see the first wave stretch into the green area up here, the bottom half at least, and then a early second wave count or an early first wave completion would mean we see prices trend into this blue area and consolidate briefly. That can also potentially confirm that the bottom is in. Now, as many of you might not understand, Elliott waves, and I kind of like to put my own twist on it. So we have a first, second, and third wave pattern. We have not made new all-time highs, and we definitely have not reached this swing high right here. So to be cautious and to have a realistic view, understanding that prices can easily drop whenever, even when there's a lot of positive news out there. Anything can happen, and prices can easily drop. We've seen it happen many times before, and 2024 has been full of extremely positive news. And what are we looking at? We're looking at we're still lower than we were earlier this year. So it's like, no matter how much good news there is out there, guys, the charts are always going to tell you something differently. They're always going to do what they're telling you they're going to do. Like, it's not a good idea to solely trade based on news. It's not good on the long run. So, understanding that we have not made a new swing high compared to this one right here. Now, this is not all-time highs, obviously, this one, but we have not even reached this area, which means that this second wave, so the B wave to the C wave, completing this fourth wave corrective pattern or corrective structure, it is not going to actually be completely in until we see prices break above the swing high, which means that this final wave could stretch out also like another three-wave pattern. So it can be sort of like this, where we see prices come down like we've seen. We go up, we find resistance somewhere. It can even be on this first bottom blue line right here, and then acting like a resistance, and then we see the prices coming down and then retest the purple area. And then, of course, ideally, just like I mentioned before, what I am personally looking for is something more like this, where we see prices stretch, retesting these highs at a minimum before seeing a potential second wave pattern or a second wave drop, which could be, which would fall into this area, and then from there we move higher on the third wave of the overall fifth wave. Hopefully you guys are following along. I'm not trying to lose anyone, but yeah, like I said earlier, I like to let trends prove themselves by going into the more extreme, into the more bigger picture support, resistance, and any kind of fib lines and fib zones I'm drawing out here, which means I try to shy away from small corrective and bullish structures. I like to look at the bigger picture. That's why I usually, you'll notice I'm always, most of the time, focusing on the 4-hour time frame. So these small corrective moves, although they're insane and crazy within the same day that you're looking at, it's all just noise. It's something that should be taken with a grain of salt. Always look at the bigger picture. It's going to keep you more focused. It's going to reduce any anxiety that you may be building up in the markets, and then of course any FOMO as well, fear of missing out. So again, I'm going to give you guys the my ideal bullish structure, the alternative to the bullish structure, and then of course what the bearish path can be. Although in my opinion is extremely unlikely, like it's not going to happen, but of course anything is possible, so I'm going to cover it as well. And then one more thing, the possibility of, and I'm not going to keep this here forever, but I am going to mention it. We have this descending resistance, and that's something to keep in mind. So keep, if you guys have your own trading view charts or your own charts I'd like to use on whatever brokerage you're using, keep an eye on, or an exchange if you're trading on Coinbase or Bybit or anything else like BitUnix or whatever you got going on. Remember this resistance up here. It's very important to understand that. Now, of course, the bullish ideal structure is we are going to see prices continue to stretch higher as we follow it up, finally getting or at least hitting all-time highs before, at a minimum, or even reaching into our green area. But we want to see somewhere in this area, we want to see prices go up and then get rejected and then finding support inside our blue retracement area down there. Now, the alternative will be, of course, we find resistance sooner. And then, of course, that's why we follow it up. So then if we do find resistance sooner, we can then see prices fall into the blue retracement area and then try to find support there. The bearish path is going to be, of course, we end up finding a top before we make new all-time highs, and then pretty much the likelihood, in my opinion, of finding a top and then breaking back into this purple area down here after making new all-time highs is non-existent. I'm just not even going to consider that a possibility. It's just I'm just not going to worry about that. It's extremely unlikely, like basically impossible in my opinion. It's not going to happen. Again, my opinion. But yeah, we find support or we find resistance below all-time highs, and then we see the prices break into the blue retracement, but then not find support, show weakness, and then start breaking lower. If we break lower, then the blue structure that we have here, you know, I am definitely looking for prices to find support inside this purple area and just fill in the gap from wherever the bottom of this blue structure is at that time. It's just going to fill in the gap, in my opinion, and we're going to see a quick, super sudden retest of the purple, and this is going to happen super quick if it does happen, and then we're going to see the price bounce up from there. So both scenarios lead towards the green, and then eventually, of course, dark green. But yeah, those are my three paths. As we continue to trade within these structures, I'm going to update you guys, and if you want to be updated a lot more frequently, sooner rather than waiting on my next video, if you follow me on social media or join my Discord, you will be updated a lot sooner than I usually post on there, at least once a day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes on the weekend, but Monday through Friday, you'll get updates on there a lot more sooner than on YouTube. And yeah, guys, hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully, understanding that the bigger picture that most likely the fourth wave is in, and I'm considering it to be in, and I'll be proven wrong if we fall below the blue area. But I am very confident that the fourth wave is finally in, and now we're working our way up, and we are going to make new all-time highs as soon as by the end of July. Super easy. So yeah, guys, keep looking at the charts. Stay motivated. Let's really enjoy and be part of Bitcoin as it makes extreme historic history and breaking $100,000 by the end of 2024 for the first time ever. This is going to be as insane as Bitcoin hitting 100 for the first time ever, and then $1,000 for the first time ever. Super big times. I was not there. I didn't know about Bitcoin at that time. I wish I did, but we know about it now, and there's no excuse to not get into this space. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care and have a good one.